It's game 4 of the Dallas Stars and Colorado Avalanche. Can the Stars continue to find depth, scoring, and success on the road? And how does Colorado respond to a very lackluster power play over the last few games? It's a game 4 preview episode on Locked On Stars.
You're Locked On Stars, your daily podcast on the Dallas Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, Stars fans, and welcome to a Game 4 preview on Locked On Stars, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. I'm Joey Erickson, former producer of 105 Through the Fan. Please be sure to subscribe. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. And as always, thank you so much for making us a part of your day and making us your first listen. This will be another quick episode for you today. We'll roll for about 10 to 15 minutes. Set the table for game number 4 tonight in Denver. The Stars with a chance to take a 3-1 series lead after a brilliant game 3, taking down the Avalanche by a final score of 4-1. And of course, Colorado looking to level the series, heading back to Dallas for game number 5. Puck drop is scheduled for 8:30 tonight. Probably will be around 8:52. You know the drill by now throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. But the Stars will look to continue to find that depth scoring, which has been very, very important in this series against Colorado. And I'm also intrigued on how Colorado will respond to a very lackluster power play, lackluster special teams in general for the Avalanche. It's hard to keep them off the board, but the Stars have done an excellent job so far in that department. So, Stars versus Avalanche, game number 4. Same lineup for the Stars. Pete DeBoer made that clear out of a morning skate here on a Monday. So, same lineup as we saw in games 2 and 3. Love Mason Marchment being back for Dallas. He is such a key to throw him on the Duchene and Seguin line, which has looked really, really good since his return. They weren't able to muster up much offense in that first series against Vegas, but it's no coincidence that Marchment comes back, and I think you get a little more bite within that lineup. Duchene now has 4 points in 10 games this postseason. Of course, Seguin with 3 goals in his last 2 games. He's up to 6 points, and it is a huge sign for Dallas if they can get Seguin and Duchene going. I'm still waiting for that moment or big play from Duchene, waiting for that goal from Mr. Dutchy, because if he can start to get the ball rolling, then man, this Stars team will be very, very dangerous within this series. But having Seguin continue to generate chances and now executing a bit more just opens up an entire Pandora's box for the Stars offensively, because you know what Johnston's line's going to do. For the most part, you know what you're going to get out of Robo and Rope at this point. Rope continues to find his momentum. They need him to continue to find his game, so to speak. And man, this Stars team is just so deep. And we talked about it all year long. Depth, because Colorado is more talented at the top with Cale Makar and Rantanen and McKinnon. But if they can limit those Avs to only a few chances or maybe a goal or 2 a game, it's going to be really hard for Colorado to beat Dallas in a 7-game series. And throughout the first 3 games, I think it's very evident that Dallas is a deeper team. And then it also begs the question, who's the better team? And I feel like we all try to answer that question throughout every series in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And after game 1, I was on 105 Through the Fan, and they asked me, who's the better team? They basically said, Colorado's the better team, right? And I was almost scared to come out and say Dallas was the better team after what we witnessed in game 1, even though the Stars jumped out to a 3-0 lead. But I think Dallas is the better team. And I I want to say it's by a pretty decent margin. I really do. I don't think Colorado is necessarily a better team than Vegas per se. I think they provide a different challenge to Dallas. I think they provide a more difficult challenge, not because Colorado is necessarily a better team than Vegas. I just think tactically, the way they play can be a bit harder for Dallas to contain. And they did an excellent job of doing that in the third period of game 3, as we all saw, out shooting Colorado 10-7 in the final 20 and 0.48 goals against, expected goals against. They were very, very structured defensively in the final 20 against Colorado the other night. And that's where I kind of stand after 3 games. Dallas could easily be up 3-0 in this series. And maybe they didn't deserve to win game 3, and it would still be 2-1 in my opinion, because they should have won game 1, right? And that's where postseason is a bunch of what ifs and hypothesis and all that. Who cares at this point? It's a 2-1 series lead, and Dallas is in control. They have a chance to really be in control if they win here tonight on the road. They've been so spectacular, 3-1 on the road this season, or on the road this postseason, and a big factor in that has been Jake Oettinger. He's played really, really well this postseason. After game 2 of the first round, Oettinger is 6-3. He's got a .930 save percentage and a 1.91 goals against. That's damn good. And there have been a few head scratchers here and there, but there hasn't really been why did that one go in? And maybe you can say the Makar goal from game 1, but it hasn't been a bunch of soft goals, in my opinion. He was extremely good in game 3, and a big reason they won that, because the surge from Colorado in the first 40 minutes could have got out of hand in a hurry if it wasn't for Jake Oettinger. So I am really, really looking forward to game 4 tonight. On hand for Colorado, they are doing some line juggling. Jonathan Drouin may be back in the lineup tonight. He was at morning skate. He had a normal, regular practice jersey on, right? And he participated on the top power play unit. Jared Bednar did not confirm his return, but it is very plausible that Drouin is back here tonight for game 4. Of course, he took an injury in the final game of the regular season, which knocked him out of the first round. He had 56 points in 79 games throughout the regular season. He got off to a slow start, but they really found their groove down the stretch. So he would more than likely jump up with McKinnon on his line along with Rantanen, and we'll see if that maybe gets Colorado out of a bit of a funk here in game 4 tonight. But this will be a tough one for Dallas for sure. Via money puck, chance of winning for Colorado's at 55%. So they have Colorado favored in this one. An interesting note here, if you look at if the Stars beat the Avs here, an 88% chance to make it to the conference final if they win game 4 tonight. And of course, taking a 3-1 series lead heading back home would be a very, very tough uphill climb for Colorado. But as we know, they can easily come back and they can make this a series in a heartbeat. It's already a series. I'm talking like it's already done here. No, plenty of games to go for for both the Stars and Avs. But I think Dallas is the better team. I don't necessarily know by how much, but I almost want to go out and say it's a decent margin, and maybe it's bigger than they were against Vegas. And yeah, that's how I feel through 3 games so far. I thought Dallas has been excellent. They've been excellent, but this will be a huge challenge. Can they get the job done once again on the road in game 4 against the Avalanche? Very, very hyped up for this game for tonight. Let's jump into some special teams talk here before we wrap up this little quick hit episode for you today. And we'll do that in just a moment. Today's episode is brought to you by Policy Genius. Policy Genius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It saves you time and money you can provide for your family with a financial safety net starting today. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policy Genius helps you compare your options from top companies, and their team of licensed experts are on hand to help talk you through it. Talk to a team of award-winning agents who will walk you through the process step by step. Policy Genius gives you unbiased advice from a licensed expert support team. They have no incentive to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. Thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot from customers who found the best fit for their needs. That's what it's all about. Finding the best fit for your needs, because it's going to be different from somebody else, going to be different from your neighbor, your friend, even your own mother. It all is going to be different. So check life insurance off your to-do list in no time with Policy Genius. Head to policygenius.com/lockedonnhl or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/lockedonnhl. Today's episode is also brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula to winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keeps your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. So the Stars have done a phenomenal job adjusting in games 2 and 3 against Colorado's power play. They've now killed off 6 straight power plays against the Avalanche, and they were excellent in game 3. They would have liked to play some more 4 or 5-on-5, at the beginning of game 3, but they had a couple of self-inflicted wounds, and they had to buck up and did an excellent job. Look, Jake Oettinger has to be great, and the Stars are going to need a few blocks like you got from Chris Tanev on the first power play, if I'm not mistaken, for Colorado, where McKinnon had a wide open net, and then Tanev just gets in the shooting lane and comes up with a block. But they were really good against Colorado in terms of offensive zone entries and pressuring high and hard. When Makar had the puck at the top of the blue line, if he fumbled it, if he mishandled for a split second, there is a body on him immediately, forcing him to either dump it in or, of course, sticking it away, getting it out to center. Dallas did a great job of clearing pucks, getting fresh legs on the ice, and they also allowed Colorado to sort of enter the zone more of a solo act, is what I would say. You had multiple times where it was just Makar or just McKinnon trying to weave his way through traffic, and there was really no support for either one of them, which allowed Dallas to pressure, cause a turnover, and get it down the rink. Of course, Colorado is going to get their looks. Oettinger is going to have to come up with big saves time and time again on special teams. But Colorado's 0 for 5 in their last 2. And if Dallas can win the special teams battle in this, wow, that'll be huge moving forward. They already have that shorthanded goal in game 2. Of course, they were excellent on the PK here the other night, and that'll also help keep Makar and McKinnon and Rantanen off the score sheet, right? That's kind of the key. Can you keep those guys away from having an impact on the game? And Makar doesn't have a point in the last 2 games. On the other hand, Miro Heiskanen has been on a great tear. He's got 9 points. He leads the Stars now throughout the postseason in the first 10 games. Can the Stars match up or win some of these matchups? Miro versus Makar and Johnston versus McKinnon, or who knows, Rope versus Rantanen, you name it, all these matchups. But the Stars are getting contributions from Seguin in the 4th line that continues to be impressive throughout this series. No Faksa once again, which I really like because this series is fast. It is chaotic. I think this lends to a better game for someone like a Marchment who entered for him, or a Sam Steele, or a Smith, and of course Dadonov, who we haven't really had a chance to show some love to a whole lot, but need to start maybe a Dadonov train. He's been great. 4 points so far, a couple goals, couple of assists, and he's been really excellent. You see why Pete DeBoer really trusts him. Okay, I wasn't too gun ho about having Dadonov back in the lineup against Vegas, but look, it proved to be the right decision. Maybe Pete DeBoer knows what he's doing. Okay. In Pete DeBoer, we trust, and we'll trust him tonight in Game 4 in Denver. Stars versus Avalanche, a chance for Dallas to take a 3-1 series lead back home to Dallas in Game 5. Can Colorado respond and level the series at 2? Should be a fantastic one. Puck draw will be around 8:52. You know the drill. That'll do it for a little quick hit episode here of Locked On Stars. We'll be back tomorrow for your full Game 4 reaction, so be on the lookout for that in the morning as well. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, follow Locked On Stars on Twitter, follow Joey the Jet 19 on Twitter, and we'll continue to roll throughout the Stanley Cup playoffs. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the game tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. So long, Stars fans.